Ever notice how quickly trust breaks down when people dodge responsibility? But when someone steps up and owns it, everything shifts? Well, today we're digging into why ownership of our actions matters, how it impacts our relationships, and the real difference between genuine ownership and simply saying sorry. Over the weekend, my youngest son got sick, so we've all piled into the car and headed to urgent care. While my oldest and I were picking up food, we got a frantic notification. Our neighbor was ringing our doorbell nonstop. I quickly checked our camera and saw flames near our backyard, and our neighbor shouted through the speaker, "There's a fire! Get out of your house!" Now, luckily we weren't home, which is a total God moment. But when we got back, we found out another neighbor accidentally started a fire. But here's the part that I truly respected. Instead of hiding or shifting blame, they came over immediately, took full responsibility, and gave us their contact information. They didn't dodge it, they owned it completely. It reminded me how often in life we see the opposite. People avoiding responsibility, shifting blame, or pretending nothing happened, and how damaging that is to our trust. So what does true ownership actually look like? Real ownership means more than just admitting you're wrong. It's clearly acknowledging what happened, genuinely caring about the impact, and actively working to make things right. When our neighbors accidentally started the fire, they didn't just offer an apology. They immediately took practical steps, shared their contact info, and showed genuine care for making it right. And that's what real ownership looks like in action. In 1982, 7 people died after Tylenol capsules were tampered with. Johnson & Johnson didn't hesitate or shift the blame. They owned it immediately. They recalled 31 million bottles, halted production, and communicated transparently, demonstrating they valued customer safety above profits. Because of their swift and genuine response, customer trust grew stronger than ever. See, true ownership rebuilds trust quickly because it prioritizes integrity and relationships over pride and appearances. What does the damage of avoiding responsibility look like? When someone avoids responsibility, they don't just prolong the issue, they break down trust, escalate conflicts, and damage relationships in ways that become increasingly difficult to repair. Consider President Nixon and the Watergate scandal. When the break-in at the Democrat National Committee offices was first discovered, Nixon initially denied any involvement and actively covered it up. His refusal to accept responsibility turned a manageable issue into a national crisis, ultimately leading to his resignation, the first in U.S. presidential history. Avoiding responsibility didn't protect him. It multiplied the problems, shattered public trust, and permanently damaged his legacy. Avoiding responsibility multiplies the problems. Genuine ownership solves them. So how can ownership build trust and strengthen relationships? Consistently owning your actions, good or bad, builds trust. People don't see you as weak, they see you as someone worth respecting because you're honest and authentic. One of my favorite examples of owning mistakes is Robert Downey Jr. Early on, he battled addiction, faced legal trouble, and was on the verge of losing his career completely. But instead of hiding or blaming others, he stepped up and said, "I messed up. I'm going to make this right." He publicly owned his past, showed genuine remorse, and put in the hard work to change. Because he took complete responsibility, he regained Hollywood's trust, rebuilt his reputation, and transformed his career into something even greater, becoming Iron Man and one of Hollywood's most respected actors. Owning his mistakes didn't make him weaker. It made his relationships and his career stronger. So here's a practical framework for taking true ownership. I call it the oath method. So the first step is O, own it clearly. Be upfront about exactly what you did wrong. A, acknowledge the impact. Show real empathy for how your actions affected others. T, take action. Clearly communicate the steps you're going to take to fix it. And H, humble yourself. Follow through sincerely without excuses. When you live out the oath method, mistakes become powerful opportunities to strengthen trust and build lasting respect. This week, pay attention to how you respond to mistakes. Are you quick to own it, or do you tend to deflect? Try fully stepping into ownership at least once and see the impact that it makes. Remember, ownership matters. It's how we build trust, deepen relationships, and turn mistakes into opportunities. So, what's the biggest difference you've seen when someone truly owned their mistake versus when they didn't? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you like this episode, hit that like and subscribe button and then ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more content. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.